Welcome to another episode of the Mad Fantasy Football Podcast with your hosts, Begley, Goni, and Wayne.
What is up, Mad Mob? At you with the end of Week 7 waiver wire pickups. Kind of a dead week for us, honestly. Nothing too exciting going on. I'm a little distracted. Got the Bucks going on. I mean, we're getting whooped right now, but I got a few live parlays out there that I'm kind of watching. Goni and I just got done watching a musical. For any of you that don't know, Joker Folie à Deux is in fact a musical. It was a really weird situation when we figured it out, but we powered through. Yeah, boys. So I think more than anything, we're going to turn this kind of into a Doink review episode, which I'm not necessarily looking forward to because I've taken my lumps. But yeah, I mean, let's just go over the few guys we have waiver wire eyes on. I guess starting off is Jameson Williams just got suspended 2 games, PEDs. I personally think that Sam Laporta gets that workload. I think we kind of see last year Sam Laporta come back. Begley is of a different mindset. Beg, so you got your eyes on the waiver wire, and how much you gonna put on him?
I think I would roll the dice on either Tim Patrick or Khalif Raymond. I'm not sure which. Their stats are very similar. Khalif Raymond's got 4 more targets on the year. He's got 15. I'd probably go Tim Patrick just for the touchdown potential. But I'm not going to go more than $1 or $2.
Yeah, I mean, how do you all feel? This is kind of I'm pivoting away from that team completely. How do you all feel about what Alan Lazard has done with Devontae's first week? I mean, we thought he was drop material. First week back, he was okay.
I think you got to hang on to him, right? He's still worth something, and I feel like the offense has got to click eventually, right? Or is it just never going to happen for the Jets? The Jets are going to keep on Jetsing, but you can't drop him yet. Got to keep him. I'd even consider starting him, if you're in a pinch next week.
Is it Hackett? Like, who sucks? Who sucks the most? Is it Hackett or Rodgers? The Jets.
I don't know. I feel like Rodgers is definitely getting rid of a lot of the blame, or at least that's what Woody Johnson, I feel like, is leading people to believe by firing Robert Saleh like mid-season. This is a team that had Super Bowl aspirations at the beginning of the year. Sure, you had a rough start. Saleh might not have been the greatest coach, but at the same time, like, I don't know, I think he got a bad end of the deal on that one. Rodgers hasn't played very well. He's got weapons. Yep. He's got weapons on weapons right now, and you have one of the best running backs in the league. You have one of the best young receivers in Garrett Wilson. You just brought in a perennial All-Pro in Devontae Adams, and they just couldn't score this past game. Like,
even got a good defense. Like, so, I mean, for all intents and purposes, that should just be a good team. But the Jets be Jetson. You know what they say.
You got to put up points, regardless of what the defense does. That's kind of just a bonus and everything. It's if you're putting up 30 a game and you're still losing, that's fine. But they ain't doing that, man. Garrett Wilson had a terrible attempt at a body catch that went for an interception. Just things are going wrong.
Underperformance all through the lineup.
Yep.
Let's pivot away to another guy that Begley was high on. Gonna toot my own horn on this one, and Goni agreed with me. It was really the first. Obviously not the first week without Devontae Adams because he's been hurt. Miraculous healing once he got traded, though. Brock Bowers, big week out of him. Now, Trey Tucker was technically the number 2 receiver on their team to the tune of 1 reception for 11 yards. I wasn't a big fan of even picking him up in the first place. Begley, do you see his potential in the future? Or because I know before we started recording, you were kind of pivoting to Alexander Mattison needing to be the guy that you pick up for the Raiders. Obviously, if you don't have Brock Bowers, you don't want to be rostering any other 2 Raiders So I'm assuming if you're kind of on Alexander Madison, you're going to pivot away from Trey Tucker.
Yeah. Tucker had a really positive 2-game run. It looked like he might be involved in the offense, but he's been phased out. I think the shift to Aiden O'Connell didn't help, although he got hurt this week. But yeah, you're right, Wayne. I think Alexander Madison's the guy to have in the backfield. He seems to be taking over all of Zamir White's snaps. I mean, it's a starting RB, right? I mean, those guys are in high demand.
23 attempts.
To me, I think this is 30% fab play this late in the season. You're gonna get an RB1 on an NFL team.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm more like 10 tops, I think. Just Alexander Madison sucks. I've said it before. I'll say it again. Like, I'm with you of even picking the guy up, even spending any fab, because you're right. He's a starting running back. They're hard to come by. It's just hard for me to blow 30% of the fab in hopes that someone better comes along via injury later on in the year. That's all. He's just not very effective. Feel like they're going to crowd the box. Gardner Minshew's going to go back to being quarterback probably next week. They have no pass catchers. Jacoby Myers isn't even going to be able to do anything. It's just the Brock Bowers show. And we're just looking at a team that's going to be 3 and out, I think, for the foreseeable future.
I'm gonna split y'all in the middle. Yeah, I'm gonna put a little bit more than 10 on it for sure. I'm okay 20, even 25. I'm probably closer to Beggs on this one. You're right. He's not good. But 23 attempts, that's heavy volume, and that's something that is worth, a quarter of my fab, especially when he doesn't get a lot of targets, but he's not completely left out of the passing game. So he's a guy whose ceiling is 15 fantasy points, but as long as he's getting this volume, his floor is 10. And I think this late in the season, when you're dealing with buys and injuries, a guy that you can depend on to get you double digits is pretty important. So I'm with you. 30 is a little too high, but for 23 rush attempts is a ton, and obviously that's not going to be consistent. But I mean, they are showing that that's their guy, and they're going to have to run, dude. Gardner Minshew came in and went 15 for 34.
He ain't going to get 23 a game.
No.
Just straight up. I know he got it this past game, but it was because the Rams couldn't do anything. The Rams brought it right down to the wire. The Raiders even had a chance to win the game at the end of the game. That was a game script play completely. Yeah, they're going to have to run, but they're going to fall behind, and they're going to have to throw. And that's just, I think it's going to temper your expectations for the amount of, work he's going to get per week.
I smell a doink go.
Okay.
3 games, he's averaged about 21 touches. Not opportunities, touches a game. He's got 42 fantasy points over his last 3. Let's just call it averaging 15 fantasy points. And that's 3 weeks of production. I'll take that. I'll put a doink. He gets 12 fantasy points against a stout KC defense this week.
Okay, you're on. Absolutely, I'll take that doink.
Okay.
What was it? 15?
12.
Oh man, nickel and diming me.
Which, by the way, he's only been below double digits twice this year. I think Alexander Madison, you're right. He's not good. The Raiders aren't good. He's getting production. The numbers don't lie.
I can say in a salary cap league, I drafted Zamir White for like $30, and I'm full of regrets.
Oh.
Luckily, I had the foresight not to sign him to a lengthy contract, but that's a lot of money to drop on a guy that I can't even start. You know who else I put some serious money on? Brandon Ayuk. How you doing? Nice to meet you.
Man, speaking of Ayuk, Juwan Johnson, Wayne, how much money are you going to put on him this week?
Nothing. Because he doesn't play for the 49ers.
Yeah, that's weird. Are we looking for tight ends on the Saints? Or?
Jawan Jennings, how much money you put on him this week?
I don't know. Because, listen, Ricky Pearsall's back. And there was another in Goni and I's. Well, what's that look for?
Go ahead.
Matt, I smell a doink. And
start sniffing.
Me and Goni and I were of the same mind when we were drafting this team that we co-manage, that we had Ayuk. Ricky Pearsall would be a good pickup because this was when Ayuk's contract situation was in turmoil. We got together, we put these noggins together, these massive brains, and said if Ayuk is gone, Pearsall's probably going to slide into that Ayuk role, and I believe that to be true still. It's just under different circumstances.
I mean, that's a real stretch you guys had there. You got the wide receiver with good draft capital was going to replace a guy who's injured. I mean, you guys really took a big leap there. Congrats.
Rookie drafts, man.
How much you putting on Juwan Jennings? Nothing, because there's another guy that's going to come in and replace him.
Oh.
I like Juwan Jennings though. I think Ricky Pearsall is is definitely a down the road kind of play. Either way, Juwan Jennings is going to be involved in the 3 wide receiver sets, no matter if he stays as the 2 or if Pearsall overtakes him as a 2. Either way, Pearsall's primarily a slot guy. I think Juwan Jennings, I think he's worth at least $25. This is like a year-long kind of play potential, I think, picking up Juwan Jennings. So if you're in need of, flex, you have injuries, anything like that, the potential's there. The potential's there. We've seen what he can do with some volume in the past. He's pretty explosive, and he'll have more opportunities in the future.
Indeed, he will. I don't think. I mean, anybody else you're eyeballing on waivers this week?
I got 3 names. I'll just say all 3, and we can cherry pick what we talk about. I think the one you have to get is Romeo Doubs. I think the Packers are weird. You could play every skill position player in fantasy. They just score a lot of points. He's only 37% rostered in ESPN. I like Jalen Warren, which the data says 45% rostered. He's probably not in any good league, but he saw just as many snaps as Najee. And then Tyler Goodson, Goni's guy. Colt, 9% rostered. Until Jonathan Taylor comes back, I think he's the guy to have.
Yeah, officially off the Trey Sermon bandwagon and full send on the Tyler Goodson bandwagon. He's just, we talked about it last week and the week before. He's just more effective. He gets work in the passing game. He's good. He's a good player. And for as long as this high ankle sprain is going to take for Jonathan Taylor to come back, that's just valuable points at the running back position that you can get out of him.
I agree. It's pretty bland. This is the most bland waiver wire week. By the way, Wayne, your Bucks bet's going to hit, bro. Congrats.
Say what?
Good.
Hey.
Your Bucks bet's going to hit. Congrats.
Wow, dude, the game's not over and it's not solidified. Why does he do this?
On,
he
dude.
loves it, dude.
There's literally no chance.
Mad Mob, if there's anything Begley loves to do more than anything, Goni, correct me if I'm wrong, this man loves to jinx a bet. He hates to see his boys win money. So, like, whenever it's kind of the Bucks are down 10 right now, and I have them at 10.5, and he's over here for some reason just jinxing the crap out of me.
No, you're just being really dumb. No matter what happens, the Ravens are going to knee the ball. They intercept it, they're going to knee it. If it's a fumble recovery, they're going to just lay.
Dude, then just let the clock hit 0, bro.
The bet's won. I'm going to congratulate my friend on a very nice wager.
Goni, is he yay or nay? Is Begley a big fan of jinxing bets?
Begley loves it. Absolutely loves it. I remember there was a time where we had about a 95% chance to win like $600, and Begley was like, "Oh, congratulations on your winnings, gentlemen."
Easy
and then
dubs.
just completely melted away whatever lead we had. We ended up losing the parlay and the bet. And
didn't he do it like 2 days later?
He just keeps on keeping on, dude.
He can't stop.
Also, by the way, breaking news: Chris Godwin just got hurt.
Yeah, it's bad. I'm watching it now. He went down. He was down on all fours though, so I don't know what type of injury that means when you just are on all fours instead of laying on your back. But he's getting carted off now. He's in an air cast.
What's casting?
Everybody's dapping him up, from both teams. So,
and you already know Mike Evans with the yearly hamstring injury. He's going to be in and out of games for the next probably 8 weeks.
Yeah, that would be that's a brutal loss for us. It's not looking like he's too happy. I mean, it's just showing him right now. He's at the cart. You know, it's never good when the other team comes out and daps you up before you get carted off.
Have you ever seen anyone happy that was in an air cast?
Yeah, I mean, he's not over here playing patty cake, man. But you know, a lot of them they'll like smile and like, you know, give like a salute or a thumbs up to the crowd. You know,
Or if you're Earl
especially playing
Thomas.
at home. Nah, my man's just head down.
Season's over. He knows it.
He was going to say, has anybody ever come back and played football after being in a downward dog after being hurt? I don't think so.
Let's talk about the Browns. What about Deshaun Watson? That whole situation of people cheering when his Achilles went spadoing.
That's not good.
I
get it, but it's not good.
It's a reason to sidestep the financial reason for playing him, which the people of Cleveland absolutely hate the contract now. I'm sure anyone associated with the Browns organization hates the contract. But now you have no more incentive to play him because he can't play. He physically cannot play. So he will sit on the bench for the rest of the season. Is this the last time we see Deshaun Watson starting for the Browns, barring injury?
It's the last time you see him start an NFL game, period.
I mean, I think there would need to be extenuating circumstances for him to start. You know, I don't see another team going and grabbing Deshaun Watson as their starter unless somebody gets hurt or they're just like the Raiders. You know, they have Poop Jr. over there that they'll take a chance on Deshaun Watson. But kind of with Beggs that I don't think that a team's going to be like, Deshaun Watson's available, let's go get him.
Oh, I was going to say the Raiders and possibly the Carolina Panthers next year.
Possibly the Colts because Anthony Richardson's dog water.
He just keeps winning, though. Just keeps winning.
No thanks to him.
That's all he does.
Wins
man.
are wins, dude. Hey, the Bucks didn't win because of Brad Johnson either, man.
Facts. Just wins games, man.
He just won. That's why he kept being the quarterback.
Hey, man. Brad Johnson has more Super Bowls under his belt in the past 25 years than the Cowboys organization.
Wow, dude.
Catch a straight real quick, Beggs.
How did we get here?
We had him cornered with the AR talk, and he reverted to strays.
I hated how Begley was nodding his head whenever he said that. It was just annoying.
Wayne, can I get an AR Levis doink this week?
If Levis plays.
Can I get one as well?
No, it's bad business.
It's bad business.
That was our first doink of the year.
Right.
Was a double doink.
Put it down, Gone. Me and Wayne. I got AR. He's got Levis.
If anybody wants to know, I had a doink with Levis, and Begley had Naylor, and Levis didn't play at all, and Begley, his knees were clacking, and he just had to take that win anyways. He didn't just let it go because Levis didn't play. He wants that dub on record. And Goni, whenever you put that in as a win, can you also put that Levis did not play? Can you put a DNP next to Levis so we know? Just in case the situation arises again and I have an opportunity to show mercy or slit a throat. I just need to be reminded.
We have to declare the injury provision before we make the doink. You just declared it for the next game. That's in the bylaws.
Just put that DNP there so I can slit his throat next time.
Levis gets the Lions and AR gets the Texans. So it's looking good for you.
It's looking great. This could be Levis's best game of the season, dude. He might break 100 yards.
It's his game, man. It's his game.
He might only throw one interception.
Did he throw an interception last game? Yeah. What am I saying? I'm not even going to look. He definitely threw an interception. But, I mean, I'm just hoping that AR surpasses 50% completion percentage at some point in his life.
Hey, man, fantasy points don't care about completion percentage. They care about being on the field and using your leggies.
That's all they care about.
All right. Baker ran the ball, went down, gone. Let's do a quick review. See, these episodes are kind of nice. They're kind of nice decompressors because we just chit chat and it kind of just follows our natural flow of sports talk. Let's see how this panned out for us, my friend. Tampa Bay plus 10.5.
AR
pay out 60.
Do you know that 14 carries this week?
Oh, for how many yards?
56.
This one will pay out
56.
130. That puts me at 190.
Andy won the game.
190, up 90 for the day.
That'll do, my friend.
I had 27, up 95.
Tip of the cap.
Let's
I
go.
had 120 in the bankroll. Now I have 217.
The
Hey, man,
maths are mathing.
rolling. Did you lose all yours, or are you still?
I did because J.K. Dobbins caught a 16-yard reception. He was the only leg that I had. Had
Okay.
the under on him for $1.50.
But did you place all the money that I shot your way?
Oh no. I did an NBA game tomorrow. I did the Jalen and Jalen to combine for 50.
I feel like I need to elaborate a little bit because I just made you sound like a bum.
Spare change.
Goni and I are 50-50 in all sports betting. So, and we do that because when he's successful and I'm unsuccessful, he shoots some money my way. I've kind of been on a heater the past couple days. He's been on a cooler. I shot some money his way. That's how we do it. I mean, just 50-50. It gives you better odds of being successful. And that's kind of how we're rolling with, because Goni's on a cooler and he's still able to bet with house money. I've definitely been on plenty of coolers and I'm still able to bet with house money because he's hitting. I love this method. I think it's great. If you got a buddy you trust who's big into sports, I highly recommend it. Gon and I even do it at casinos, so something to think about. Nobody ever does it with Begley because he's really not too great at anything in particular.
I don't have any friends, man.
Begley's a walking cooler.
Many dollars exchanging hands at the craps tables for Wayne and I here.
Ain't no luck like Begley luck. It's well
Sheesh.
documented.
I hate that. Worst saying of all time.
Truth.
Go and give us a doink review. Take it over.
All right, so we only had a couple this past week. I definitely got destroyed, to be honest with you. Quick one. All right, Wayne versus Goni. Over under 37.5 points, Saints and Broncos. The over hit. Wayne won that one. I had one against Beggs, over under 100 total yards for Bijan Robinson. He had 103 rushing yards on his own, like 160 total. Lost that one. Got one back versus Beggs, more fantasy points. My boy, Darnell Mooney against JSN. Darnell Mooney put him to shame, 9-3 or something. We had Begley against Wayne, just putting that thing on the table right here. He said, "You take Will Levis, and I'll take Jalen Naylor." Jalen Naylor came out and did his thing, and got Begley the win this week.
DNP.
Hey, win's a win.
DNP. Will Levis did not play. It's not like Jalen Naylor went out and just dominated. Will Levis got poo-pooed. He
Hey
didn't
man,
play.
do you mind? I'm trying to get through these doinks. here.
DNP.
Naylor got
Saturday's London game. I finally, for once, had confidence in my Patriots to cover the spread against the Jags. It was 5.5 points. We got destroyed. Begley won that one, and that will wrap it up. So for the season, guess we'll have to go by win percentage here. That puts me in first at 7-5. Begley in second at 7-7. And Wayne way down there. Bro, you need to make some doinks. He's 3-4. What is he doing?
Wow.
He's just sitting back in the bushes, man. Just chilling.
I made a
and then
doink
our
this week, bro.
head-to-heads- What?
I made a doink.
Oh, okay. One per week. You're doing great.
Listen. I've already made a doink, and that's before we've even done the Week 8 preview. They're coming. Shoot or shoot, man. I'm going to dig myself out of this. Either I'm going to dig myself deeper or I'm going to dig myself out. But there's going to be some digging. I got my spade out.
When you're averaging one a week,
I got my
What do you
spade out,
mean?
man. I've already hit my average, and we haven't even done the week preview.
you have 7 total on the year.
Begley,
That's
what's he
the
not
problem.
understanding, man? I got my shovel and my pickaxe.
That's
Okay.
the problem. And you're using a spade. I had to get the auger out 2 weeks ago.
Buddy,
man.
I've seen you use an auger.
Rip my arm out of socket.
I've seen you use an auger, son.
Hey, we got done there. It got where it needed to go.
My record against Wayne for the season thus far, I'm 1-2 against Wayne. I am 6-3 against Beggs, and Beggs is 3-2 against Wayne.
Dang. Hey, Beggs, anytime you want to stop feeding Gone, that'd be great.
Dude,
He's digging himself out, dude. Doing what you should be doing.
I crushed Gone this week. It's only a matter of time.
Good Lord. I think you did that to him last year. Not last year, the year before. I mean, absolutely you just fed off of Begley's bad takes.
I don't remember it that way. He got me on one bad one, the Derek Carr over the Raiders over the Bills total score.
Yeah, that was terrible. That they would score more points than the Bills.
That was a mistake.
Shame on you. Shame on you.
That one was just a red-blooded mistake. Just dead wrong on it.
You just need to quit being so emotional, man. Just think with your head one time.
Wayne, I feel like you've lost more doinks than the rest of us, though.
I'd be at 500 right now if Will Levis played.
If your aunt had wheels, she'd be a bicycle.
That's like us saying AR would be crushing Will Levis over the last 2 years if he played.
No, it wouldn't be like that at all.
That's the same thing, dude.
Totally different.
Crazy that he's already missed games and he's still beating Will Levis.
I hate that you chose the background that has a sloth like literally right next to your face. And I'm not sure which one looks more dumb.
Can't tell either.
I mean, that couldn't have been. He couldn't just stick with deserts and mountains and seas. Like he had to put live things that are just faces right next to his dumb face.
Yeah,
it's International Sloth Day, man. Don't you see? Celebrating.
Is it International Sloth Day?
Yeah, dude.
It is. That is confirmed.
Why do you think I'm sporting my buddy here?
Can you give us any sloth facts?
Yeah, they're really slow.
Wow.
The end.
It's dumb. He's dumb.
Because it's so true.
All right.
Anything to add, boys? Anything we want to go into?
Save your fab money.
Yeah.
Save your fab, yeah.
Save your fab.
Don't spend too much. Don't spend 30% on anyone this week.
Dang. Just poo-pooed on your take. Ouch.
Wow.
I'm not going to end it. He can't poo-poo on something you said, and then I just end it. I mean, do you have a rebuttal, or I can just end it, and you can have a little poo on your shirt?
I put a doink on Alexander Madison next week, so just be ready. Be ready, Gone.
So
I'll leave the chat with a little turd dangling, with a little dingleberry on my shoulder, but don't you fret.
It's from the sloth. It's not Gony.
Yeah, you're right.
Mad Mob, we'll see you for the Week 8 preview Wednesday. Stupid face. Hate it.